What's up, boys? 10
going
weeks in
on?
the book. 10 weeks of fantasy football have come and gone. We are absolutely in the thickest of the thick part of the fantasy football season. We are the well-mannered cartel. I am Tom.
I'm Mike.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Jose.
There we
Jose's
go.
filling in. Jose's filling in for Marlon today. Marlon couldn't be here, but so we'll get into it. Jose, also known as Vino Pap Smears, also known as Vino PDs. So let's get into the Week 10 recap. The first matchup we're looking at is cross-faded 181, a great score, but he falls to the Lady Boys, who scored 186. So this was the highest scoring game of the week by far, because it was a very low scoring week. I think maybe the lowest scoring week of the year, like collectively so far. But Lady Boys again is able to pick it up, and you just kind of feel for Crossfaded, because he has these good weeks sometimes and he still falls.
Yeah. Story of his season, man. The story of his season, just like putting up a big score and coming up short.
Yeah.
Week in and week out, man. It's you feel for him for sure.
Yeah. He got production from almost anybody, man. From almost everybody, I should say, and just fell just a little short, man. 5 points, dude. It's
crazy.
Yeah, it's a point here and there from your players would have made all the difference, but
I mean, like Melvin Gordon only got him 4 points. You expect more even from Melvin Gordon. I mean, that's kind of a heartbreak right there, given the fact that he only lost by about 5 points. He gets 4 from Melvin Gordon, and that kind of sealed the deal for him. But on the Lady Boys side, I mean, Dalvin Cook, you see that he only gets 15 points, and you think, oh man, the Lady Boys are going down this week, you know?
Yeah.
But Aaron Rodgers put up 40. Hopkins with that insane that Hail Mary pass won him the game, right? That Hail Mary pass won the week for the Lady Boys. That's a heartbreaker, man.
Yeah.
T. Higgins put up 32.5 for him. I traded him T. Higgins, and I talked about it last week. I really didn't want to get rid of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he put up 32.5 for him. But yeah, man, I mean, crossfaded, you put up 181 points and you expect to win for sure. Lady Boys just edges him out. Lady Boys is 8-2. Crossfaded falls to 3-7. So I think mathematically, Crossfaded isn't out of contention for the playoffs yet. It's just going to be very, very, very difficult for him to make it in. But at this point, there's still just a little glimmer. But it's not impossible, but it's probably impossible.
Yeah,
it's improbable.
I wouldn't book my flight to the playoff.
We would have to. I think he would have to win these next 3, and me, Dem Lions, you, and the Fornicators would have to lose.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's impossible.
I mean, we'll get into the playoff picture in a bit, but I think there's all but 2 teams are still in the hunt, really. Anyhow, the second matchup we're looking at is the Fornicators 137, the Flint Tropics with I think the lowest score of the year so far, 72 points.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, that is so crazy.
That's horrendous.
He was one of getting a goose egg from Cook, that doesn't help.
And a second goose egg from the Titans defense
from Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay with 1 point.
Yep.
And then that's right, the Titans defense getting another goose egg for him. Jeez, man, it's been a rough year for Flint, huh? It's been quite the fall from grace.
Yeah.
He was one of the stronger teams last season.
Yeah. 5-5 though,
and he saw a terrible record. His team looked good after the draft and after the first couple of weeks. He did have that winning streak, and he looked pretty strong. But I don't know, man. CMC went down, and his team just doesn't look great right now.
Yeah,
heading back into divisional games,
and really no points on the bench either, man. It's not like he left anything out there. Like
he played the perfect lineup.
Yeah, he played the wrong quarterback, but even at that, it made a 7-point difference.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, the Fornicators again, 137. That's not a whole lot of points, but he got the job done. I think this is his third win in a row for him.
Yeah. We thought he might be cooked. We thought he might be cooked without Patrick Mahomes. We thought he might drop the game, but good for him for starting Teddy Bridgewater in his place for 22 points.
Schedule saved him.
Yeah, I mean,
I know we kind of questioned Bridgewater last week, but I mean he came out and I mean he got 22 points. It's not, he wasn't a beater, but he got the job done. And then Josh Jacobs 39, Antonio Gibson 22.5. So his running backs carried him this week. And so he is now 5-5. He's back at 500, and Flint Tropics is also 5-5, but these two teams are going in opposite directions. They're still pretty much in the playoff hunt, though. The next matchup, Vino Papi, 137, Culon Santo, 116. So the guy who's here faced the guy who is not here with us.
Not here.
Jose,
Yeah.
Tell us about this one, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was pretty worried, dude. Because 115 and 137, like that's not a lot, dude. Metcalf only got 4.8 points.
How it goes. That's how it goes.
Michael
with DK,
Thomas. Man. Yeah, I mean Michael Thomas, who I've been waiting for. He's definitely cleared his injury thing, right? He's looked solid, but he's just he's mostly been targeted on like short passes and stuff. Which
and Breeze went down too.
And Breeze went down, and now they have Taysom Hill, who's going to start for him. So that's very interesting. You don't know how Michael Thomas is going to kind of, if he's, I don't know if he's going to be as fantasy relevant, because he kind of hasn't been, because he's been hurt. And then now you throw Taysom Hill, who's usually he just runs straight, Get the ball, run straight, Taysom. So, it's interesting to see.
Yeah, but the main thing that I was kind of little scared of really about this matchup was mainly the trade that we made. I think it was like 2 weeks ago for the Justin Jefferson, because this almost came back to bite me in the ass. He had a pretty good game.
Yeah,
he had 8. He was targeted 10 times. Got 8 for 135 yards, which is pretty solid. And I think he got like 1 or 2 of those plays, like a 40-yarder, I think, called back, and I think that would have gave it to him actually. 1 or 2 of those. He had like 2 plays with that got called back, and had he got one of those, I mean, he probably
be a different story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Carson Wentz screwed him. I told y'all earlier on the year, like, do not ever start Carson Wentz, because you think he's gonna do okay, and he'll just score 8 points for you.
But what's crazy is Kenyon Drake. I think a lot of people, if you're a fantasy manager who was he has both Kenyon Drake and Edmonds, and if you were this fantasy owner, I think he went with the right thing. Like, I don't know, I can't speak for him obviously, but I think his mindset might have been like, Kenyon Drake is coming off of injury, maybe they'll ease him into it, maybe he's not going to get that much volume, and so he outscored him, not by much, but the real crazy thing is, and this has been shown in the past too, is Cole Beasley. So anytime John Brown is like out of the picture, or gets hurt or walks off, dude, he goes off, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
because even Brown, because even Brown was doing pretty solid. He had 13.2 points, and all of a sudden he gets hurt, and then Beasley, I mean, just goes beast mode and stuff like that. And so had he put in him for, I don't know, maybe anybody else, this game would have also been his.
Yeah, he left a lot of points on the bench this week. I think he may have squandered his victory.
Diggs and Clay Chase pool really saved you this week, Jose. I think Diggs is having a fucking really good year in Buffalo. And,
but I only got lucky too, because he only got that last pass right before Hopkins.
Yeah.
That was the only thing, right? He got that last one right before. I was like, thank God.
That's true.
Because had he also not, I mean, even if he wouldn't have, he probably would have. Well, no, that would have put me back. I mean, that would have just closed the margin a little bit, even without that pass. But it definitely helped.
But if you look at like his scores throughout the year, they've been pretty consistent. Like, he's been putting up good scores all fucking season long. And then Chase Claypool's gotten more consistent, like within the last 3 games. I know he had that one stinker like 3 or 4 weeks ago, but since then he's been like more consistent.
Yeah.
So they've been like good, like solid starters for you, and they came through with solid points last week for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. This game was a lot closer than the score, leads you to believe, though. But But yeah, so now Jose Vino Poppies is 6-4. Coulon Santo falls to 2-8. The next matchup we're looking at is LVU Las Vegas United. My team falls 108-109 to Peaky Blindside, but it was less than a point actually. The official score was 108.28 to 109.02, so less than a point.
Wow.
My team was supposed to score way more than it actually did, and yeah, man, it just didn't work out this week. Man. Yeah. Jonathan Taylor was a disappointment on that Thursday night game, but I still thought I was going to be okay. Devontae Adams had a bad game. He scored 17.6 points, but he had a fumble, and then we thought he was injured. Then he came back in, he scored a touchdown and kind of salvaged his fantasy relevance. Well, Fuller only scored 8 points for me, and that was just a bad weather game, dude. We talked about that last week.
That's so unlucky. Yeah, that win game, man, that really hampered Fuller's potential that week. It was just so crazy, and that's just bad luck, when you get a bad weather game like that. And then Fulgham only getting you 1.8. I mean, I didn't watch that game. I don't know if weather was a factor there, or if it was just Wentz being fucking Carson Wentz and not giving the ball to like his best receiver,
Actually, I think it was more Wentz.
I was about to. Yeah, I was watching that game. It was definitely a Wentz thing, dude. He was playing like garbage. He had a couple of passes where Fulgham was open down the seam. For deep threat, and Wentz just never got it to him.
And so Deshaun Watson only scored 16 points for him because he was in that same game, obviously, as Will Fuller. So anytime Deshaun Watson is held under 30 points, that's a pretty good game, and so that kind of gave me a little bit of confidence. But I was talking to Chris. I think it was Sunday night, Chris, when we were playing FIFA, and I was like, if Allen Robinson scores under 10 points, I can win the game. Allen Robinson scores 10.3 points, and so it just didn't happen for me. Very low scoring game, dude. I mean, it was such a stinker by both teams. And I thought I had a shot after the Ravens only put 1 point on, and they only scored 1 point when they played New England. I thought I had a shot, but it just did not work out for me. So it makes my, path to the playoffs a little bit more difficult. But I think I still have confidence in my team. Still there. There's a lot of 500 teams right now, so we, every game is really important now.
Yeah. The problem with like this matchup though is that you and Peaky might be right there, like even in the records, and then he's gonna have the tiebreaker though, and like that 1 point in this one fucking matchup might be the difference between who makes the playoffs or not. You know what I mean? And that's that's so fucking crazy to think about. Like one catch from any of your receivers, like just
one
gets
fucking
you
reception.
There. It's
well, if Justin Herbert doesn't throw an interception, I win the game.
He
had a pick. And so that kind of fucked me over. But you know what, man? He's in a very difficult, division. He's got Chris this week, so I'm hoping that you can handle some, handle business.
Hey, and then Herbert.
So we'll see, man. But
Herbert has that really terrible haircut now, so I don't know how that will affect his performance going forward.
He's less aerodynamic, even with the helmet.
Yeah.
But both teams are 500 at 5-5, like we said, same record, and so it's going to be interesting now that he has a tiebreaker over me. It sucks, man, because I feel like every team that's 500 has a tiebreaker over me. So now I just have to win. Anyhow, both teams are 5-5. The next matchup is Bad Hombres 93 to the Gridiron Throne 136. Chris versus Mike. This isn't the game we were expecting.
No, the Bad Hombres we were, bro. I mean, Jesus, this is like the worst performance that my team has put up in all season for sure. I mean, I got goose egged by Jimmy Graham. The Eagles defense only got 3 points, and AJ Brown got me 3 points, and fucking Russell Wilson, man, with 6.9. I mean, that's the worst performance of the season so far for him. It was such a weird game, man. It was so frustrating. I think I was telling you, Tom, like, I don't think I've been so frustrated at fantasy football than I was last week. Like, it was so crazy. And then, dude, Mike, kudos to you, bro. Credit to you. I mean, all of the guys that you picked up were like hit. You know what I'm saying? Like all these guys that weren't on your team, these guys that you didn't draft, fucking Logan Thomas, J.D. McKissick, these fucking Brandon Ayuk. Did you draft Brandon Ayuk? I don't think you did.
No, man. I picked him up on waivers like 3 weeks ago or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like these guys, they all fucking showed up against me.
I think almost everyone on my roster is not somebody that I drafted. So I kind of wish that I would have made these changes earlier in the season. I think I'm still gonna lose like the rest. I'm lose the rest of the season, but I probably should have made some changes earlier. But I kept giving Lamar a chance, Ty a chance. And,
you hung on too long for Lamar and Ty. But dude, with 135 this week, fuck, you would have beat more than half the league this week, dude. That's a fucking monster score in week 10.
Yeah,
insane, dude.
And I texted you guys that night too.
That's a big cut on the Buck score this week.
Yeah, bro, you're in the region there.
Yeah, I feel bad because I know I made your playoffs a little bit more difficult, but I also made my playoffs in a different league more difficult as well. Because I had Jimmy Graham. I had Jimmy Graham in that league, and I needed 4 points to win, bro. And of course, you got a goose egg. So
yeah.
Crazy, that
Jimmy Karma
Graham
came back. Karma came back and did me in, Chris, for you.
No one also would have expected that either from freaking, Jimmy Grandpa. Like
for sure,
he's a number 8. He's a number 8 tight end on the year. You know what I mean?
Bro.
And he's there, and when he's there, when they're on the goal line in red zone, like he's always there. He's almost always their go-to. Like on if they are
started
him in the end zone. Yeah.
Yeah, I started him earlier in the year when I had Waller before I traded him to you, Jose, and he fucking filled in great for Waller. I think he got a touchdown and got like 50 yards or something on like 4 or 5 catches, like 15 points or something. I was like, hell yeah, like that's a badass performance from a tight end. So I figured he could do it again, but nah, man, my luck run out with fucking Jimmy Grandpa for sure. The only solace that I take, to be honest with you, the only
trade.
No, not even the trade. I mean, we're gonna find out about the trade in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah,
that's when we will find out. But the only solace that I take from this week is that I'm not going to be the fucking the squanderer, because if it was any closer, me benching fucking Ronald Jones and leaving 36.8 points on the bench, even if I started Ronald Jones, I would have lost. So but I mean, I know, Jose, you dropped it in the group chat, and I don't know if you knew that he was on my bench, but you were like, Chris, Rojo, and I was like, en los cinco, Jose, like, he's on my bench, bro. He's on my bench.
No. Well, no, I saw him on your bench, but I was just like, dude, he's going off, and it wasn't even like a jab or anything, because no one.
He wasn't even going off. He had that 100-yard run.
Yes,
he had a 98-yard run.
That's all it was, exactly.
Well, it wasn't just that, because he almost got 200 yards. It was a 98-yard run, but I think he ended up with like 197 yards. 192.
Yeah, and again,
I think before that long run, though, he had only had like 20-something yards, and he was only averaging like 2 yards per carry or something, and then he broke it, and I guess after that, it was like, all right.
Yeah, because again, dude, Bruce, right? Is Bruce Arians, right? That's your coach?
Yeah,
like, dude, he's notorious, dude. I think his first or second possession, he goes for a quick run and he fumbles the ball and he drops. I was like, oh, of course, Chris made a good move. That's why he benched him, right? Because
that's what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
And then all of a sudden, dude, he breaks off that run, and Bruce Arians like, all right, this is his fucking game.
Bro, I saw Rojo fumble on the red zone, and like I was watching red zone, and it came up and he fumbled. I was like, oh, thank God! Like he's just gonna get benched, and then fucking dude, that the 98-yard run, that was the longest offensive play in Tampa Bay Bucks history.
No, NFL history.
Oh, it wasn't, because I heard it was the Tampa Bay Bucks history, and then it's like no one, like, plays over 98 yards have only happened like 4 times in the entire history of the NFL. I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy, man. And I left them on my bench. But anyway, that's the Rojo story, man.
The AJ Brown thing, I wasn't that surprised. Dude, Indy's been playing pretty fucking solid. All
Dude, but
year.
AJ Brown dropped the bomb. It would have been like a 70-yard touchdown, and he fucking bobbled it. He had butterfingers. Shouldn't have ate that popcorn, man. He dropped that shit. Yeah, but dude, and then Nick Chubb stepping out at the 1, like I was like he had that.
Oh yeah,
remember?
dude.
Like he had that like
I mean,
60-yard run.
Smart, dude. That was smart.
It
like
was
you
smart,
felt like
Yeah.
they just wanted to run out the clock and like that was it.
I got nervous seeing that. I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what?
It wasn't meant to be, bro.
Hey,
it wasn't
you know
meant to be.
I only have 2 wins on the season, and they're against 2 of the guys on this podcast tonight.
Motherfucker, man. I mean, if you're only gonna have a couple wins, that's the way to do it, I guess.
And I'm not one of them. So
I'm not one of them. Holy shit! That was it.
That
man.
leaves Chris at 6-4, and Mike is now 2-8, looking mighty this week. And the last game we're looking at here is Dem Lions 173 over Easy 146. Another one of the higher scoring games this week. Dem Lions gets it done. I think he squeaked one last week. No, he lost last week, won this week. So now he's looking positive again. But I think
we counted him out, bro. We counted him out. We counted Dem Lions out, bro. We thought he was gonna be fucking out of the playoffs, and here he comes, fucking, no pun intended, roaring back into the fucking playoff picture at 6-4. Dude, yeah, Big Ben, like you said, Jose, he went off, man. 48 points.
Yeah, he just has so many weapons, man, and like they just had to do their thing, and Ben just had to do his, and
dude, you're right. It's like he just had his choice.
Solid. Yeah,
like he just had his choice on what open receiver he wanted to hit.
Yeah.
Does any quarterback have a better set of wide receivers than Ben, dude? Seriously.
I think the only comparable might be Russ, but that's probably it inside the league, and that clearly didn't help me out last week. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Dude, Kyler Murray, another good game, 33 points for over Easy. Derrick Henry, 21 points. I mean, not a monster game, but I mean, fuck that. You'll take that. Tyler Lockett with a bit of a down game, 12 points. Robbie Anderson disappointing with 6. Marquise Brown with 4. Kareem Hunt with 26. Yeah. I think you said it, Tom. I think you were like, that Kareem Hunt would be fine because I think he plays actually better when Chubb is playing, and I think that's like Hunt's highest score in the last couple of weeks. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes going forward.
I think
both of those guys, man, you're fine with them. Like if you have both of them, you're starting both of them. You're not worrying about one taking points away from the other. I think they're both utilized very differently. Yeah, she had them both earlier in the season. But yeah, like they're utilized differently. And their offense just revolves around both of them, so they're fine. But yeah, I think we're over Easy's team kind of takes the hit is Chris Carson still not back. He's not back this week, so she's having to play Marquise Brown in that flex spot, and I think that's what's killing her, or that's what has killed her the last few weeks. Is having to start him and not Chris Carson. So that's or Jamison Crowder's been out for a while too, so that's kind of what's going on with her team. But then, you look at Dem Lions, you give them props for starting Roethlisberger. You did play against Cincinnati, so that was a good start. But you still didn't think he was going to put up 50 points, though, right?
No, dude, no way. And the thing is, DJ Moore had a bounce back game.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. How does he have that game against Tampa with that defense? Like you don't expect that to happen, but.
Not only that, but so remember last week when I actually played over Easy and it was like, all right, this is actually going to come down to either Lockett or Metcalf. That'll be who's going to win.
Yeah.
The crazy thing with Carolina is that they have the exact same thing going on with Bridgewater. He has Anderson, Moore, Curtis Samuel, and Mike Davis now, right? Because CMC's hurt. And they have this weird thing, man, where it's like he kind of hones in on one person for a week, and everything else is shut out. Mike Davis was quiet. Anderson was quiet. And, who knows? Maybe next week could be his week or something like that. But it's been weird like that too, because Anderson is a great receiver, but it's who's going to get the more of the receptions. And again, it wasn't like one had more of the other. DJ Moore he caught 4 7 targets.
They were targeted. Yeah, targeted 7 and 6. So it's just the luck of that draw, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just Juju actually had a good game. Talking about bounce back games, Adam Thielen a good game against
Yeah,
probably
him
the
too.
best defense in football, and he hadn't had a good game in a minute. So when those guys are rolling, DeAndre Swift actually had a good game, but he's out this week too. So it's interesting to see what them lines does this coming week.
If Thielen and DJ Moore and Juju Smith-Schuster can keep this up for the rest of the season, I mean, it's a big if, but if they can play anywhere near this level, I mean, fucking them Lions is going to be a problem, bro. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah,
because that's a solid receiving core.
I have faith in Thielen. I do not have faith in DJ Moore. He's a Panthers wide receiver, and it's just like Russian. It's Russian
and
roulette.
Bridgewater's
man,
hurt.
Guys.
Dude, Robbie Anderson's really hurting DJ Moore because he's having now. Robbie Anderson is taking those shorter routes. Like he's running more of those shorter routes, and DJ Moore's doing more of the field stretching. And those shorter routes are the easier completion. So I feel like Robbie Anderson, him being there in Carolina, has taken that part of DJ Moore's game out because last season DJ Moore was getting all of those easy completions, those shorter routes, and now he's just playing a different role with Robbie Anderson involved in the offense, and it's a bummer. But I mean, not this last week it wasn't. So we'll just see, man. We'll just see how it goes going forward. And I know Teddy's hurt now, so that's gonna be something to look out for.
Yep. So Over Easy is now 7-3. Dem Lions is 6-4. Let's have a look at the standings. Come on, boy, pull up. At the Earth Division, Vino Papi is now at the top 6-4, 1564.5 points scored. Dem Lions 6-4, 1435.18 points scored. 5-5, the Fornicators, 1502.22 points scored, and Las Vegas 5-5, 1387.1 points scored. So again, the tightest division in the league.
Yeah,
we're back to the divisional games. We're having a rematch of the Week 1 games this week, and so now from here on to the end of the season, every game is crucial. Either one of these teams can win the division, and so it's kind of wild.
Sure.
The Win Division, Over Easy, 7-3, 1588.7 points scored. Then the Bad Hombres, who's 6-4, 1683.48 points scored. The Peaky Blindside, 5-5, 1558.72 points scored. And Crossfaded, 3-7, 1501.08 points scored. So this division looking pretty. It's a lot closer than it was a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean.
Even
It's not as, I mean, obviously not everybody's in it. I think CrossFaded is still technically in it, but it's not as tight as your division is, Tom. But this is the highest.
Yeah,
it's pretty tight, and it is the highest scoring division in the league. Like everybody puts a fucking numbers, you know what I mean? And so that's why it's so sketchy, dude. Like anybody can beat any week, bro. Anybody can fucking beat anybody else in this division for sure.
The one person that scares me though is the Bangkok Lady Boys, because if you look at season to date, he has 1768 points scored and 1476. What?
That's the Fire Division. We're not there yet.
But still.
Oh my bad.
He's still scary.
I mean,
no, scary.
Well, we can talk about him now because we're on the Fire Division. No, let's go.
So the Fire Division, Bangkok Lady Boys. Bangkok Lady Boys, 8-2, 768.34 points scored. Flint Tropics is on a downward trajectory, 1448 points scored. He's 5-5 now. Then Culon Santo, 2-8, 1397 points scored. And then Gridiron Throne, who's also 2-8 with 1312.92 points scored. So I think those two teams are out of the playoffs, Mike and Marlon.
Yeah.
Their teams respectively are out of the playoffs.
The
Lady Boys, though,
pretty much ran away with the division. Even if they lose out.
Jose, take it away. Jose, take it away. Give us your
I simply wanted to say, man, like, look, he has 1768 points scored, right, for the whole, for the season. And it seems like everyone plays almost their worst game against them because the margin of the points he scored compared to how many are scored against them is 1476. So there's a 300-point difference, bro, against this. What are we, week 10? You know what I mean?
Dude.
So
bro, if you're good, if your team is good and you're lucky, bro, that's a fucking hell of a combination, dude.
I was gonna say he has a 3-point lead over the next team in our division. So one more win and he secures the.
I mean, you look at GIT and you look at Culon Santo, and I mean both of your teams are out of contention, right? And then Flint Tropics is also moving in the wrong direction. He might bounce back, but it's hard to see that happening without Christian McCaffrey. So yeah, I mean,
can you tell me that I'm out of contention again?
Mike, I'm only saying this because Mike, you talked a lot of shit the first 3 weeks of the season when my team wasn't doing so hot, and so I'm going to remind you every time that you're not making the playoffs. So like I said, Gridiron Throne is not making the playoffs. If you guys didn't hear me 4 times, I said it. But so let's go ahead and look at the playoff picture right now. So the playoffs were to start today. The first matchup we'd have is Dem Lions and the Bad Hombres. The next wild card matchup would be Peaky Blindside and Vino Poppies, and the Bangkok Ladyboys and Over Easy would have the buys. So those matchups looking pretty good, man. But again, all of those teams.
Yeah.
I think the only team that's super safe is like the Ladyboys. Everybody else, man, you know, if Over Easy loses a few more games, she might be out of the playoffs. You know,
that's wild.
Her team hasn't been playing great.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy. Crazy.
Wow.
But yeah,
you know what? All those games would be really tight. Those would be really good games. Like if that's the way it ended up shaking out, that would be freaking intense, bro. That would be nail biters, I think.
Yeah.
So in the hunt, we have the Fornicators, Las Vegas, the Flint Tropics, and Crossfaded. So the only 2 teams that are not, going to make the playoffs this year is Colon Santo and the Gridiron.
Again. Yeah.
But everybody else, it's fair game. These matchups, man, these would be. I mean, it looks like Chris said. It looks tight, man. If these were to happen, you just don't know. You just don't know.
Well, it's pretty cool also for anyone who plays in who might have like a rough week in week 14 is that second spot that gets the bye, obviously besides Bangkok because he's definitely going to get his hopefully, right? Is Haley's spot. Hers is still kind of up for grabs because it's so tight, from now till then. So that's kind of up in the air in terms of who's going to get that bye as well.
Dude, and that's
my wife just texted me. Haley just texted me. She's like, "Don't you say I won't make the playoffs." She's sitting right in front of me.
It's a possibility.
I'm just saying it's possible. Yeah, it's a possibility. All right. But yeah, man. So in the thick of it, like I said, this playoff picture is probably going to look a lot different this next week. It's probably going to look a lot different.
Yeah.
We'll keep bringing up.
Shuffled quite a bit.
We'll keep bringing up this graph so you can see.
We'll keep counting the votes, bro. We'll keep counting the votes. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
So with that said, let's head over to Chris's corner.
All right. We're going to start with who the fuck is that guy? Devontae Booker, running back for... 16 carries, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns, 21.3 points. Did y'all know who the fuck Devontae Booker was before? I thought he was a basketball player. Isn't there? I thought he was
sounds like a basketball player.
I thought he played for the Heat, man.
Yeah, I thought he played for the Suns.
He's not down in Miami.
And that's because didn't Jacobs go off too? They just fucking ran all over the Broncos, bro. They ran all over the Broncos because Jacobs had a fucking great game too. So between the two of them, they had like 50 freaking fantasy points. That's insane.
Yeah, Jacobs scored, I think, 32 or something like that.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah. Who knew, bro? Devontae Booker, 2 touchdowns, 21.3 points for the squander of the week. We had a couple. I mean, we're obviously, Tom, Las Vegas United. If you would have started Gallman over Taylor, I mean, that's kind of a tough call. You just traded for Taylor.
I couldn't have, though. It was not possible because I started Taylor and then I picked him up. I picked up Gallman on Friday.
Oh, there we go. Well then Marlon. Marlon is the squanderer. Because I think he left some points on the bench for sure that could have helped them. That could have helped them win the game. I think you touched on it, Jose. If you would have started Beasley and Kenyon Drake, that probably would have done it for him. Kenyon Drake over Chase Edmonds, and then Beasley over, take your fucking pick, over Cooper Kupp, over Tim Patrick, Corey Davis. Beasley just went off. I mean, it's a hard call to make, but if he would have done it, he would have got the dub. And so for that, he is the squanderer of the week. The bed shitter. I'm just gonna go with two dudes on my fucking squad because I had a couple this week. Russell Wilson, bro, 6.9 points. Come on, dude. You're in the MVP conversation. You're supposed to be cooking, and you only get 6.9 points. You shit the fucking bed. All right, he shit the bed bad. And then Jimmy Grandpa, Jose, Jimmy Grandpa 0. He fucking goosed me, dude. He fucking goosed me, and I was not expecting that. And those two guys pretty much resulted in me getting a big ass L this week.
Dude, but this is like everyone I think needs to pay attention. Like if their quarterback's going up against the the Rams, dude, that was an insane pass rush. Number one, and then who's their corner that locked down Metcalf and Lockett?
Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, so the insane pass rush plus that lockdown of one of the two best receivers
Ramsey
in the league.
is the man.
Bro, that defense, you're right, has gotten better.
Good.
Like as the year has gone on, the defense has gotten better. For sure.
That's another thing. Like people, you've probably been a little bit hesitant to play him, but like, I mean, that should definitely show you that that they're the real deal because that. Yeah. I mean, against the Seahawks, like that's crazy. I wasn't expecting that. I had Metcalf, so I was hoping.
I would like to nominate Travis Fulgham as well. That's what I want to nominate for this.
Yeah, 1.8 points, right? He had one catch. But like we said, I think like we said, we touched on that. I think that's more Wentz shitting the bed rather than Fulgham shitting the bed. Like that's kind of.
Hey, with so many low scoring points this week, though, it seems like there was a lot of people who were shitting the bed this week.
I mean, Cook shit the bed for Flint. He got him.
He goosed him too. The Titans goosed him too. There's a lot of bed shitters, man. There's a plethora of
this week
beds
is
that
stinky.
was shat on. Bro, I can throw Dookie Johnson in the fucking mix there. He had like 5 points and he was supposed to go off. Dookie Johnson, bro. It's sounds like fun, right? Not always, bro.
His name means shit, man.
Oh man. The no talent pussy this week. Split Tropics. That's probably, dude. That might be the no talent pussy score of the year. 71.98 points. I don't know if anybody can go lower than that. I mean, I don't know.
Your ass.
Yeah, he saved my ass for sure. I blew his ass out by like 30. Holy shit. Split Tropics, 71.98 points. No talent pussy of the week, maybe the year. Let's pour them out. I got one name on here and one name only because it's a big one. Mr. Breezy, Drew Brees, five time, bro. 5 broken rib. No, not broken. Is it broken? Were they broken or were they like fractured? Fractured ribs. 5 fractured ribs and 1 punctured lung, bro. He doesn't have that second lung, bro. He doesn't have that second lung to rely on, and he just got added to IR, so he's going to be out at least 3 weeks, at the very least, 3 weeks. And
dude, in the twilight,
that might be it. That might be the curtain call for Drew Brees, man. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, if he doesn't recover, that might be fucking curtains for his career, bro.
A lot of people thought this was his last year already, man. So. It sucks because if he has to retire because of an injury, I mean, that's just unfortunate for, such a legendary player like Drew Brees.
For sure. And he's got I think he has an offer on the table to make I don't know, fucking $15 million a year to be a commentator or on one of these, for an analyst on one of these football shows. So, I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to turn that shit. Yeah, dude, he's already been signed. I think I don't think it's CBS. It might be Fox or
easy money,
ABC, man. or ABC, something like that. It's he got one of those Tony Romo type deals where it's a shit ton of money just to be be a commentator.
Dude, and I felt
it's gonna be hard to come back.
Dude, I felt bad watching. Now that I think about it, I felt bad watching the games. I was like, dude, so where the fuck is he crying, dude? On the sideline, bro. Because I don't know if you saw, he was
crying.
He was making a face, bro. And
Bro,
It's a tough
yeah.
way to end a career, man.
it is
Very,
5 broken
very
ribs, bro,
sad.
and a collapsed lung.
Collapsed lung. That's so rough, dude. And you know what? And I think we talked about it too on when we were on FIFA, Tom, where like it looked like it was one of those illegal like
Yeah.
not a hit, but like when like the defender landed on him, like he fucking like power drive his ass into the ground, and it looked rough, dude.
Yeah, that's why they have
yeah.
that.
You right away.
That weight rule or the.
Yeah.
Like
Hey, Jose. Hey, let me break 5 of your ribs, pendejo. See if you don't cry.
You're gonna crack. All right, and the big cock on the block this week, Bangkok Ladyboys. He's making a this is what he's doing now, man. He's being irregular. He's a regular on big cock on the block this season. 186 points. My goodness, that was a monster score this week. 186 for the Bangkok Ladyboys. The big cock on the block.
just barely though, but yes.
Just barely.
That last Hopkins literally at the last.
That
last
Hopkins
second.
Hail Mary.
Yeah.
He inched him out.
He's a grower, bro, not a shower. He's a grower, not a shower. All right, that's it, bro. That's it for the segments.
Let's look at the Week 11 matchups. Playoff implications are everywhere. They're everywhere. So this is the first matchup we're looking at is the Win Division Bad Hombres versus the Peaky Blind side. Chris.
Oh, man. You know what,
pretty
dude?
feeling,
man.
Pretty critical.
I was feeling like earlier in the week, I was feeling pretty confident, not going to lie. Because Kenny G actually fucking practiced. He practiced, I think, on Wednesday. And then he fucking went MIA. He didn't practice Thursday. He didn't practice Friday. And now he's out. So now I'm forced to, usually I've been leaning on, since Kenny G's been out these last couple of weeks, I've been leaning on Sterling Shepard, who's actually done pretty well. I mean, he's not, blowing, minds or anything. He's not fucking putting up huge numbers, but he's been a startable wide receiver. So now this week I'm starting CeeDee Lamb. We've got the fucking Red Rifle coming back off of IR, or not off of IR, off of a concussion and COVID. Apparently he had fucking COVID too.
Jesus.
He just got hit with everything, bro. So we got the Red Rifle coming in.
Been a bad month.
It's been a bad month for him, and so I'm hoping against Minnesota that CeeDee Lamb can have a decent game. But now I'm a little less confident. I'm not gonna lie. As of this recording, Russell Wilson has already played, so we already know the outcome of that of that game. And Russell Wilson had a decent game. I mean, I think he scored 24 points, which I'm not mad about it. I mean, I think that's a decent score. But it is his second lowest scoring score of the season. But I mean, it's 24 points. I'm fucking happy. It's better than 6 that he got me last week. I'm good with it. And some of my guys do have tougher matchups. I mean, we got AJ Brown against Baltimore. I'm not super excited about that. And we got Aaron Jones against Indianapolis, and we all know how nasty that fucking defense is.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to have Travis Kelce back. He was on a bye last week, and he's just been balling.
Receiver.
He's dude. I mean, I heard it on a podcast. I was listening to a podcast, and it was like somebody was trying to trade for Travis Kelce on this podcast, and the guy was like, "What would I accept for like an extra position? Like, because it's pretty much like you have an extra position on everybody else because the tight end scoring has been so crappy all season long. It's almost like you have another starter that people don't have. Like it's wild. So I'm hoping that Travis Kelce coming back, and if he has a Travis Kelce game, then he can put me over the top. But dude, the Peaky Blindside has been putting up some pretty good scores these last couple of weeks. He rallied from the 0-3 start in the division. He rallied to a 5-5 record. So I mean, he's got some good guys on his squad. He's got Deshaun Watson, who's been playing a hell of a lot better since fucking Bob got fired. I mean, I think we called that one, right, Tom? I think you were like, it's like a weight was lifted off of the fucking offense as soon as we even wondered if he was sandbagging just to get Bob out of there. I mean, because
I'm sure he was, man. He traded his boy, man. He's like, no, fuck this guy. He traded DeAndre Hopkins away. They're Clemson boys, dude. Like,
That's
like
true.
fuck this dude. But yeah, dude. I mean, Peaky Blindside. I look at his team, and it's just like one of those teams where I'm just like, they don't look that strong, but they're getting results. And he's getting Tyreek Hill back. He's getting Tyreek Hill back this week. Sean Watson is playing New England.
Yeah.
He's got Mike Davis. Mike Davis, though, even though CMC is out, I don't think he still has that sort of impact that he had when CMC first went out. I think now they're getting Curtis Samuel involved in the game as well. So he's taking away a lot of snaps from Davis.
Yeah.
Judy, I'm not sold on him. Gronkowski's been a lot better the last few weeks. Antonio Brown's kind of coming into his own in that offense too. Kalen Ballage, So yeah, I mean his team is it's good, man. But I mean, I look at your team, Chris, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick your team. I just think your team is more talented, and you think the matchups you have aren't great, but I think your team will get it done this week.
Bro, I need to break this. I need to break the fucking streak, bro. I'm on a 3 fucking game losing streak, and I haven't ever picked against myself, but I'm not gonna fucking start now, bro. I'm gonna take myself too. I think this is the week that my team finally comes through and puts a big enough score to keep Peaky Blindside at bay and to get me the dub. So I'm gonna pick myself also.
I got you this week too, Chris. I think you
right.
have a
you owe me one, Mike.
Yeah, I owe you one. That's
all right, Jose, who are you taking?
I have to go with No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
going with you, dude.
Pick who you want.
And you know what's crazy is I think this is definitely the main thing for Peaky is Judy. People have been underestimating Miami D for a while, man. At least once in every game, they do some crazy defensive, like a pick six or something where they take it back to the house. And their secondary has been pretty solid against wide receivers, and so I really don't think Judy's going to do much.
Man. And then if Byron Jones shadows Judy, might not be
he's
good.
done. Yeah,
Byron Jones is a monster, bro.
Yeah. And then for what's really good for you, I don't know if they're getting Dalton back or not. Regardless, though, even with this last quarterback, he got targeted 5 and 7 times and still did pretty solid. But with Andy Dalton, I think was it week 6 or 5
against Washington? I guess that was I think that was week 6. I'm not too sure, but I know he was getting targeted even with Dalton. So I think CeeDee Lamb's going to do a little better.
Yeah, definitely, especially against Minnesota, who has the I think the 9th worst secondary in the league.
Yeah,
so.
And because he plays in the slot. He plays in the slot, and I think Minnesota's trash against slot receivers. So I think it should be a decent game for CD.
So you picking the Hombres to be bad again, or what, Jose?
Hell yeah. Going bad. The good kind of bad, not the bad kind of bad.
Bad kind of bad. The next matchup, I said playoff implications were everywhere, but they're not with this matchup. We got the two teams who are not making the playoffs go up against each other this week.
It's the bubble, baby.
We're playing for last place, man. Fuck.
We got a matching 2-8 record. Coulon Santo versus the Gridiron Throne. Do we even want to talk about this game? We can, Mike. How do you feel about it?
I would like to win this game. That's all I have to say.
Bro, I'm picking against Mike. I'm holding a grudge. Mike, and I'm looking at the score right now and knowing like we said, this has been recorded after the Cardinals and Seahawks game, so credit to fucking Coulon Santo for starting both Kenyon Drake and Chase Edmonds, starting both of them, and they both had decent games. And he's got a little bit of a lead. He's got a little bit of a lead on you, Mike, and I don't know if you're going to be able to overcome that lead. And you just beat me, and I'm holding a fucking grudge. So I'm going to take Coulon Santo to fucking win the doo-doo derby, bro. I think he's going to fucking take it.
Yeah, I'm picking Coulon too, man. I think getting 30 points between those two players it might be an insurmountable lead.
It's like, I'm not picking myself to score 130 back-to-back weeks, man. I think, dude. I mean, I'm looking at Coulon's matchups. I think he probably has the better matchups, and he already has those you're not expecting 30 points out of Kenyon Drake and Chase Edmonds, but he got that out of them. And you have Matt Ryan going up against New Orleans, who has a great running defense, so you know they're going to have to throw the ball. So for that reason, I'm going to have to take Coulon.
Yeah.
Same here, man. Sorry, but yeah, it really just comes down to the matchups, dude. Yeah. Especially with that decent combo that I was surprised to see him play. I would have just gone with Drake personally alone, but he played them both, and that was pretty decent. But he just has better matchups, dude. Burrow, Washington, Henderson against Tampa. So
hey,
yeah, I'm gonna go with Coulon.
Speak truth to power, man. Speak truth to power.
The broom, bring it out. Let's go back to the win division. Over Easy, who's 7-3 versus Crossfaded, who is 3-7. So if Over Easy wins this one, Crossfaded is knocked out at playoff contention, and Over Easy can solidify herself just a little bit. Probably solidify herself in playoffs. I'm not going to say that, but she'll have a lot better chance if she wins this week.
Yeah.
She had a couple players play as well. She had Kyler Murray already, who has 24.26. So he's kind of that same boat that Russell Wilson was in for you, Chris. Good, not great game. But Tyler Lockett put up 21.7, so that's a pretty good score for a wide receiver.
Yep.
But you look at Crossfaded's team and his team, not bad matchups. But you worry about Mike Evans. But who's going to face Ramsey? Which receiver on that offense is going to face Ramsey?
Yeah.
Right. Man.
I'm nervous about any wide receiver from Tampa, just because now it's like, bro, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Godwin, like he could just pick from anybody, you know what I mean? And it's not like Brady.
Yeah.
Like Brady hones in on a particular wide receiver in a week. He could dish it out to anybody and he's gonna be fine. Brady's a good pick from Tampa, really, but the receivers are, I think they'll probably get you they'll probably have like a decent floor, but that's about it. I don't know if they have much of a ceiling.
But I mean, think about Kyle Allen against the Jets, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Keenan Allen. Sorry, not Kyle Allen. Keenan Allen against the Jets. That's a fucking juicy matchup for him. And dude, I don't know the Deontay Johnson thing, like against Jacksonville. Can he? Man, like that's another similar situation. There's too many mouths to feed there in Pittsburgh, but the Jacksonville defense is garbage. So it's like maybe they all get to fucking eat. You know what I mean? Maybe they all
think numbers. I think that's a buffet there, Chris. I think that's
that could happen.
Good chance they might all eat.
Man, that being said, though,
Lamar Jackson against Tennessee, it's going to be a close one. Over Easy's going to miss Chris Carson again. I have to pick her over Easy. I'm going with Over Easy. She's right here. That's against my brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna also pick Over Easy, man. I'm gonna root for fucking Crossfaded for sure, but I think Over Easy. I mean, with the points in the bank already, she's already got some points, and just the fact that Derrick Henry against Baltimore, I don't. That looks like a tough matchup, but I think Derrick Henry's just gonna he's just gonna be Derrick Henry.
Baltimore hasn't been super impressive. So
right, and then Kareem Hunt, man, Kareem Hunt and Derrick Henry. I mean, I think they're gonna carry her to victory. So I'm gonna take her for the win this week.
Yeah, you know what? I was leaning more towards Crossfaded, but I think considering Kareem Hunt and Derrick Henry. And also Crowder, man. I think Crowder coming back into her lineup, I think those will be some difference makers right there. I think that'll put her over to the top.
I am going to go with Over Easy. However, I think it's going to be really, really tight, and I think it's really going to come down to this being an Anderson game for him, because again, like I said, that they got something going on in Carolina, and so hopefully this is he has like a pretty decent game, and Keenan just having not a crazy game against the Jets, which is a little rough, but overall I do like Over Easy's matchups. a little bit better. And I also don't think Crossfaded has Melvin Gordon in, dude, against Miami. I don't know if you've been looking. He has almost 60%. Yeah, he has almost 60% of the snaps, and then that against Overy, and he hasn't done much like anything with them. He's very touchdown dependent to even be somewhat relevant. If he were to put Jalen Reagor, maybe I would lean a little bit more with Crossfaded, but as of now, I'm leaning with Overeasy.
I think we can all agree this probably might be the highest scoring matchup this week, right? I mean, this is going to be a big score on both sides.
One of the closest games.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So like I said, if Overeasy wins Crossfade, it's pretty much out. And so, yeah, let's go over to the Earth Division. So this one's Las Vegas United versus Vino Poppies. I am 5-5. Jose is 6-4. This is a big one with playoff implications as well.
Yeah.
Jose, you got your wish last week. I know you were scared about me beating Kenneth last week, but it looks like it's going to be a good game, man. I know you had DK Metcalf played already for you, only scored 13.6, so I'm feeling good about that because DK can have those monstrous games, and I still have like my main weapons that haven't played yet. And I know DK is one of your main guys, and you're without Josh Allen. You have Cam Newton playing though, so I mean he's going up against Houston, so he can have a pretty good game against that lackluster Houston D.
Yeah.
But with that said,
I'm nervous, man.
I'm going all in on Vino Poppies. I went all in last week for the first time and lost, but does lightning strike the same place twice? I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with you, Tom, this week. Cam Newton has had some disappointing weeks, to say the least. And even though he's going up against Houston, I still don't fully trust him. And then also looking at DK's score, man, that's pretty low scoring for DK. So I think that could come back and haunt you a little bit, Jose.
This is hard, man. Like it's really close. Honestly, I think this is, especially with Metcalf having already played. I'm just hoping and praying that Herbert doesn't have one of his freaking.
He's playing the Jets.
Yeah,
I like that one.
One of those. I'm just hoping he doesn't have one of those freaking.
He might not though, man. Maybe they'll just run on the Jets. But
but
I mean,
that
the
could
Jets
get
give up a lot of points.
That could get dirty.
Yeah.
The only thing for me right now is like my running back situation. I had to pick up Damian Harris because Montgomery's on bye. Jonathan Taylor after last week, I'm not going to start him. So I had to pick up Damian Harris, who's had some pretty good games as of late since he's been back from injury, and he's going up against Houston. So I'm hoping that New England just continues running the ball, and Damian Harris can have a pretty good game. I was scared about Devontae Adams possibly missing this game, but he's been confirmed he's going to play this week. Julio Jones comes back off of a bye. And so, I think my guys have some pretty good matchups. So we'll see, man. But I'm taking Jose.
Yeah, dude. I didn't actually pick yet. Tom, I love you. I have to. I'm gonna go with me, but I think I'm gonna be wrong if Herbert has a Herbert game. That's where I think. That's where I think
you were
lose it up.
You were his second choice, Tom.
You were his second choice. That's right. I think a big Tom. The fact that you're starting a Harris and Jose, the fact that you're starting Cam Newton, it's like who's going to get those goal line rushes, right?
Yes.
Like, who's going to get those red zone rushes? Because
Cam can run it in. Cam can run it in.
Yeah, and I think that might be that. I mean, that might be what decides it. I mean, I think it's going to be closer than expected. I mean, if you look at it on paper, Jose, the fact that you've got Allen on bye and Diggs on bye, like those are two like big starters for you. I mean, it looks like if you look at Tom's team, it looks stronger, to be honest, in this matchup this week. But I think that like Devontae Parker, like he hasn't been the same without Fitzpatrick, right? Like he hasn't Like Fitzpatrick was like the best thing for fucking
I
Parker.
don't even know if I'm gonna start him, dude. So don't even.
Yeah,
Like,
that's kind of a borderline. And then
I mean,
Adams. Adams has that. He had a bum ankle, right? So he's a little banged up. And then we talked about it already. Like Indianapolis, that defense is fucking legit, dude. Like that, they've got a fucking decent defense over there. Here's the thing with Herbert. Like this motherfucker's been in shootouts, dude. Like he's been having to throw. Like he's been having to fucking throw. Like
And
every week.
Cannon. He
Dude,
has a fucking cannon,
dude. Don't fucking put that guy in the corner and ask him to throw because he's gonna fucking do it. But against the Jets, you're right, Tom. I mean, and maybe they get up big and then they just decide to run it. Like I don't know. Like he's got a cake matchup. This is the first time that they might be fucking ahead comfortably. And then what happens then? Like it's gonna be so fucking interesting to see what happens. But like, I don't know, man.
But I'm gonna change, man. I think I'm gonna go with Tom only because I don't like Todd Gurley. I don't like Todd Gurley against New Orleans. I don't like Todd Gurley against New Orleans. And bro, Michael Thomas has just not been fucking Michael Thomas, bro. All they're doing is
that's a big one too, man. Like you don't know what you're gonna get with Taysom Hill.
Exactly. And especially with that, even with Breeze was just checking down to him, so he's always the short pass. And then now with Taysom Hill, I had a little bit more confidence with Winston just because we saw what he did with with Tampa last year. But with Taysom, I mean, who knows?
So yeah, we're looking at Devontae Parker. I'm like 50-50 on Parker. I'm not sure I'm going to start him. I do have Fulgham and I do have Mike Williams, and we're talking about the Jets defense, and I kind of minced my words a little bit, but like the Jets actually have a really good run defense, so I think they might have to throw the ball, and so I might start Mike Williams, and I think Herbert might go off. So
he might.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pick Vino Poppy, and here's why. Will Fuller, if fucking Lattimore comes, I mean, if Goldilocks comes back, Gilmore, he might lock up Will Fuller because I think Will Fuller might be the number one receiver over there at the Texans, and then Julio Jones has Marshawn Lattimore, those are two tough fucking corners that two of your receivers are going to go up against. And then Devontae Adams with a bum ankle against the Colts' strong defense. I mean, I just think those are tough matchups for those three dudes. I'm going to go with fucking Vino Poppy. Bam. It's going to be close, though.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be close. So what, 3-1?
3-1. You couldn't even pick yourself, Jose. Oh, no, 2-2. Tom picked you two.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
We're good.
You guys picked each other.
Picked each other. That's never happened before, I don't think. The next matchup, keeping it in the Earth Division, Dem Lions 6-4, the Fornicators 5-5. Another huge game in the division. Both of these teams have done pretty well these last few weeks. Dem Lions, though, he's missing Swift. I know he still has him in the lineup right now. He's out with a concussion. He's not going to play. I don't know what he's going to do there. He also has Zach Moss on the bench. He's on bye, so he might have to go with. Who does he have on the roster right now?
Williams.
Dude, Jamal Williams has been pretty. He's been pretty good these last couple of weeks. He's been getting a lot of touches from Aaron Jones.
Indy, though.
Yeah, I don't know about
that.
Yeah, that's tough.
Much out of Williams.
True.
Yeah. So
but he does have Roethlisberger against Jacksonville, which is a juicy matchup, and he has Adam Thielen against Dallas, and he has Juju against Jacksonville as well. So he has some pretty good matchups. But then the Fornicators. If that man has Patrick Mahomes starting, he can beat anybody on any given week. So it's interesting. He has James Conner against Jacksonville also. So a lot of Steelers in this matchup.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs versus KC, who had a monster game the last time they played.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Fornicators. I think Mahomes bounces back. I think he had a pretty pedestrian game against Las Vegas. I was gonna say Las Vegas. The first time they played, I think he bounces back with a big game this week, and I think Mahomes gets him over the hump.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and they mentioned that Andy Reid was apparently really pissed off at Gruden after the game last time. Because they circled the stadium.
They did laps around the stadium after the win.
Yeah, they did laps around the stadium after the win. And so, and apparently he had exchanged words with Gruden about it, and so this might turn into one of those fuck you games. And Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, like one of those games. Yeah, one of those games where they don't fucking take the gas off the pedal. They just fucking keep trying to score touchdowns. That would be
just
awesome.
might go off.
That might be awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Fornicators too because I feel like them Lions. He might replace because he's a Lions fan. He might replace Swift with fucking Adrian Peterson. I mean, that might just happen because I think Adrian Peterson's out there in the league on waivers. So I don't know if he's gonna really be able to find anybody good enough to replace Swift. And that's going to be a big hole for him. James Conner against Jacksonville, that's a decent matchup. Josh Jacobs against Kansas City, I mean, that seems to be a good matchup. And Brandon Cooks against New England, I don't think he's going to see Gilmore. So I think Brandon Cooks might have more opportunities there. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Fornicators too.
Yeah.
So is that a sweep, Jose?
Yeah, I'm also going with the Fornicators, just mainly because of exactly your point. I think Fuller's going to get the shadow, and I think Cooks. Yeah. If that's the case, I think Cooks is going to get more of the targets and the opportunities, and then I just don't think for Dem Lions, two things for him is just DJ Moore. I don't know if he's going to be able to replicate what he did last week because again, we've mentioned several times how Carolina is a little bit shaky on who's getting the attention there, and then I have no idea what the hell he's going to do with Swift being out. Because all I see for him is either Gesicki, Alshon, or Williams, who I don't think is going to be a factor at all. So,
and if you're going to go based off of those guys, you're probably going to have to go with Alshon maybe, or Jamal Williams. But those are tough, man.
It's still
one of those plays is very tough. So sweep in favor of the Fornicators on that one, and then the last matchup is the Fire Division matchup between Flint Tropics, who's 5-5, against the Lady Boys, who are 8-2. And do we see the Lady Boys slowing down this week?
No.
I don't.
They get the win. They get the win and secure the division, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a beatdown, bro. It's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be fucking.
It's gonna be I think we call this a Vergisa.
Vergisa down from where we're from. Yeah, man. I mean, Rogers has a tough matchup, but I mean, he could start Brady, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, Brady has a tough matchup too.
Yeah, Brady. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but still, I mean, he's got.
Oh, he has Tua too. I didn't even notice that.
Weird.
3 fucking quarterbacks.
Bro, anytime you got this is like Dalvin Cook against the Cowboys. Come on, he might put up 100. I mean, Dalvin Cook might get 100, bro. That's crazy.
100 yards in the first half.
100 points, amigo. The Dallas Cowboys are one of the worst run defenses. I think them and the Texans. Like, what the fuck, Texas? Get your shit together. Like,
the worst run defense in football. 10 points though, so that helps Flint a little bit. But I mean, he's starting Philip Lindsay again. He's got Godwin, who's also a Tampa Bay receiver, like we were talking about earlier. You just, there's too many mouths to feed there. He does have Terry McLaurin going up against Cincinnati, which is a very, juicy matchup for him. But yeah, dude. I mean,
I don't know. Here's the thing. Do you think the Lady Boys will end up putting Clyde Edwards-Helaire into their starting lineup, or are they going to roll with T. Higgins and with Jacoby Myers?
Oh,
I probably
know. I know CEH was out of practice with an illness, so I don't know if that's going to affect. I mean, he's slated to play, but anytime you don't practice, at the running back position, you don't know if that affects his touches at all. So we'll see, man.
Right. All right, but even then, I think Bangkok Lady Boys are going to take it, so I'm gonna pick him.
Yeah, same.
I'm gonna go with the upset of the week, and I think I'm gonna go with Flint. Because
mixing it up.
How we just said Hopkins already had his game. He only got 10 points, which is very surprising. I don't think Calvin Ridley. I think he's coming off right. This is his first game since he's been hurt.
I think so. Yeah, I think he's coming.
So I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's going to be that, that good. And I know we're saying, Dalvin Cook is going to have an amazing game against Dallas, dude. But who was it? Connor against Dallas couldn't do a single thing. When was it? A couple weeks
can't
ago?
compare those two guys, man.
Yes,
honestly.
I know.
You can't honestly compare James Conner to Dalvin Cook.
I I just don't think Dalvin Cook is gonna. I think rest of the season schedule. I just don't see him being the Dalvin Cook that we've been seeing the first half of the season. But really just mainly because Ridley and Hopkins already having only 10 points and Rodgers going up against Indiana. I
don't think we see 60 points from Dalvin Cook again because he's done that twice already. Yeah. But I do think he's going to hit what he's projected to hit at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going with Flint, and also it's crazy because he has Boyd and Lady Boys has Higgins. Higgins has been with a deep threat, and I do think with Washington pass rush, they have a pretty decent pass rush, and so I think he's going to check down to Boyd a lot more instead of hitting Higgins on the deep threat.
Yeah, dude, I think Flint Tropics has been hampered with injuries. That's been the story of his season as well. That's why he's kind of put in this position. No Mixon, no McCaffrey. It's been rough. So yeah, that's it. I think Jose picked Flint, and the rest of us picked the Lady Boys. So that's all the matchups. Those were all the Week 11 matchups. Godspeed, boys. We're in it.
Man,
we're in it.
We're in the thick of it. This is awesome. This is like the most.
Good luck to you guys.
Yeah. Later, boys.
I'm so happy for you guys.
Yeah.
Peace.